Hello, everybody, and welcome. Like I said, I'm going to be interviewing Conrad Toner from New Brunswick, Canada. So welcome, Conrad, to the Spotlight Series for Certified Facilitators.
Thank you, Michael. It's a pleasure for me to do this.
Great. Well, I'm anxious for people to hear about your background. I think it's quite interesting. But before I do that, I always like to find out how people first got connected with my book. I mean, you know, how did you come across it? Where did you find it? And so tell me that first experience for you.
Well, my first experience, Michael, was right after The Secret came out. I had heard about I saw your book. Your book became the #1 bestseller, I believe, at that time. And I went to look for the book. And in the meantime, my daughter had heard you on the Oprah radio show or something like that.
Okay.
And she called me and told me, Dad, you really got to hear this guy. And so that's when I picked up your book and started reading about what you were doing.
Oh, great. Good. So I'm curious about the transition to your daughter, Cindy, right? Is it Cindy that told you that? She said that here's a book. You read the book, and before you know it, you're flying out to west coast of Canada, which is like a full day away. So something must have really stimulated or stirred you up to say, I'm going to make this big trip to take the certification program. What was it that made you decide or helped you decide?
Well, when I heard that you were given that training, Michael, I thought that it was a really good fit for the kind of work that I do as a life coach.
Yes.
And so I spoke to my daughter, Cindy, who's a chiropractor in Halifax, and we looked at the possibility of flying out to Vancouver to take this training. And she agreed that it would be great for me and great for her in the practice that she's doing.
Nice.
Helping people attract great things into their lives is a really benefit to anybody, and so that's how we managed to do it. We went out and took the course. And extremely interesting.
Good. I'd like you to tell us about the niche because, you know, before you were a life coach, you had a different kind of career. I know it dovetailed nicely. Tell us about your background and how you come to do what you're doing now.
Well, I started out as a farmer. I farmed for about 30 years, and then in the late 90s, I decided that I didn't want to farm anymore, and so I changed career. I went back to university and took a course at the University of New Brunswick in leadership philosophy, and that's where I get interested in becoming a life coach. And so I went from there to starting a small business after that, selling that business, and then getting back into life coaching.
Right.
And it's a fun thing to do.
Nice. Now, are you tapping into farmers and farming business, or do you have a different audience?
I have worked with some farmers, and I have a program that I'm coming out that's with in September that's especially designed for farmers.
Oh, wow.
And business people, and I'm hoping that that's going to draw a lot of attention.
Wow, good for you. Congratulations. Now, tell me what's, you know, I know lots of industries, and you could pick an industry, and I could tell you what the problems are that I could help them with. So I don't know. What's a main contrast or something that farmers are attracting that they'd like to change? What's something common for them?
Well, certainly farming is a very, very stressful thing to be doing because you're depending on the weather, you're depending on prices and all of this kind of stuff. So there's a lot for farmers to learn about attracting more of what they want into their lives and getting away from all of this negative talk about what's going on outside of their farm. And that becomes really important to them.
Now, does it take a special farmer to kind of embrace what you're talking about, or do you find that they're all pretty embracing of it?
I'm hoping that they're going to be really open to it. Many of the farmers that I've worked with have, I've coached at least 3 farmers, and they've been very open to it, and I believe got a lot out of the course. So I'm hoping that this new program that I have for them is going to really open things up for them.
Well, very good. Tell me, I get them, so I know you get them. What are some compliments that you've been getting, for example, from the 3 farmers? What are some things they're telling you about your style, your work, what they learned, what they got?
Well, the testimonials that I get on my website are very positive and absolutely wonderful to hear. Teaching people how to use the law of attraction is a fun thing to be doing, when you have results and helping people decide what their purpose is in life and setting goals to obtain that purpose, that's a big thing for people.
Yes.
It helps them to set out some goals and to teach and to help them be able to reach out and obtain those goals, and that's a really big thing for them.
There's a lot of parallelism between growing, farming, growing vegetables and fruits, and what you're doing, right? You're helping a farmer grow his business or her business. So it's like a farming within a farmer. So I just think it's great that you've tapped into that market. So they're complimenting you on the style and how they're easy, they're finding it easy to get and practice and so on.
Well, when people become aware of what their purpose is in life and they set goals to meet that purpose, it really changes people because they become focused on what they really want to accomplish.
Right.
And when people really get set on what they want to accomplish in their life, it makes a huge, huge change in what they will do with their life.
Now, are most farmers pretty independent? 'Cause I know their homes are miles apart, but I mean, do they have a community where they get together, or is this kind of new to be a coach for an operating farm?
Well, there are some cooperatives and there are organizations like the National Farmers Unions, the federations, and things like that. And most every commodity has a marketing board of some kind. So there's a lot of opportunity out there to work with people that are on the boards of directors and all of that kind of stuff. And it also, farming is a business, and it's a big business.
Yes.
And I have had extremely good luck working with people that are in business, and CEOs of companies, and even working with doctors and nurses and people like that. My coaching is extended to farmers, but I work with everybody out there.
Oh yeah.
So
sure.
it's very.
Yeah. So anybody in small business or even big business that really wants to learn how, and for corporations, they always say, well, how would this serve my business? Well, I always tell them a little secret. It'll help reduce negativity at the workplace.
Absolutely.
Boy,
absolutely.
They set up with their ears perked. It's like, really? I said, yeah. If everyone's on board, or when everybody gets on board with the message, negativity gets reduced, and meetings are different, and projects are different, and suppliers are, everything changes that lines up with this better ideal matches.
And it helps them work with their employees as well.
Yes.
That's a really big thing when they can learn how to treat their employees better and all of that kind of stuff, and the kind of communication that opens up to them when they take coaching in their lives is a really big thing.
Yes.
I just finished a couple of large seminars, one with the New Brunswick Old Practical Nurses of New Brunswick, and also with the town administrators for the province of New Brunswick.
Oh wow!
And I've been working on the run from that in the last couple of weeks, so that's been really, really good as well.
I think the last time we talked, you were doing a presentation for some students.
Yes, I did a presentation at the community college here, and that was there wasn't a very big crowd, but the people that were there were really, really interested in it, and I got a lot of assessments and did a lot of law of attraction work with those people. In fact, I'm still working with about 5 of those people right now.
Is that right? Wow, congratulations. I love hearing your success story. So how are you using law of attraction? It's one thing to learn how to teach it, but the other thing is like, well, I have to do it myself so you can teach it. How are you using it for your coaching business?
That's a great question. And I guess one of the things I'd have to say about that, Michael, is that I don't allow myself to get stressed out anymore about my business.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that my business, I don't do a lot of advertising now. It's word of mouth, and I, when I give seminars or send out mail outs or whatever, my newsletter and stuff like that, that's where I get my business. And I've learned to allow myself to allow these things to happen rather than to fight, go after, and do a lot of advertising and put a lot of pressure on people to take the course. I like for people to come to me and find out what it's about and then become interested in it and that's the kind of people that I love to work with.
Well, I agree. I only want people that want to be there. You know, if somebody asks me to do a gig and they say it's mandatory for all of our staff, then I say, well, my ideal seminar is for people that really want to be there. So I've actually turned down invitations where I knew I'd be in a room full of 100 people that didn't want me to be there. It's like, you know, I don't need to do that, and I don't want to do that for sure. Now, I want to go back and talk about the program that you put together. You know, one thing to, you know, you're doing seminars, you do introductory presentations, you do full day, half day seminars, teaching people law of attraction in the workplace, business place. So I'm curious about how that evolved into this product for farmers. Tell us about how that happened, and also how we can find out about it. I'd like to send people to your website after that.
Well, what I do with my coaching, I work with what's called the Hartman Value Profile, where I look at 6 different areas of a person's life and help them to get familiar with how powerful they are in certain areas and how they may have some weaknesses in other areas of their life.
Okay.
And the Hartman Value Profile has been around for a long time. It's an excellent form of allowing people to find out where they're the strongest and what helps them to survive in business and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So that's one of the biggest things that I do, and the first thing that I do with people.
Yeah, so that helps you identify where to get started with them.
Absolutely, that helps. I do an interview with them, and I find out where they're at in their lives and how things are going, and help them work things out that way. Yes.
Okay, good. So your program includes this assessment. What else?
And then I take them for a 14-week coaching after that, and at the end of the coaching, I do a final assessment about a month after I do the coaching, and that brings them into seeing where they've progressed in the last 14 months.
Yeah, well, 14 months is a long time. They should be getting
14 weeks, rather.
14 weeks, yeah. 14 weeks is a long time. You know, I tell people, just wait a week. You know, you'll see results in a week. You cannot not see results when you change your vibration. So I'm sure they get really awesome results in a 14-week period.
Oh, they absolutely do, and the reason it's 14 weeks and not 13 now is because I've added the law of attraction to my program.
Yes, good.
And I spend time on that.
Yes.
So I meet them once a week for about an hour and a half, depending on how long it takes each one.
Okay, good. Tell me how people can find out more about you and your website and that program. Where should they go?
Well, they can go to my website at www.conradtoner.com.
Okay.
They can sign up for my newsletter on there, and all of my programs and information is on that website.
Okay, very good. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you wanted me to, or you wanted to add something else?
Well, I just want to say that if people want to call in for a free consultation, I'll do that for them.
Okay,
number is 473-1785, area code 506.
Okay.
And I'll do a free 20-minute consultation with them about the coaching that I do if they're interested in getting coaching.
Okay, great. Well, I'm proud of you. You've done it. You're busy. You're active. I remember in the certification program, everybody said, well, how am I going to get clients and how am I going to get speaking engagements? Do you remember what I said about that?
Yes. And Michael, I have to say that one of the things I can say about the work that you're doing is that you really keep in close contact with your clients. The fact that this with me today is proof of that. And also we have your inner circle, and where we get a phone call every month, and that's really beneficial to us. And you keep us up to date. And Diane, your sister, is a big help to me in Eastern Canada because I know there's 4 hours difference in time. So if I need something quickly, I can always go to her, and she gets in contact with you. So that's really powerful for all of your clients. Okay. And I think you're doing an excellent job.
Thanks for being with me today, Conrad. And I'm trusting that you're going to attract all the right people to your business and be very successful with the programs you're putting on. And
well, thank you very much, Michael, for doing this.
Okay, very good. See you later, Conrad.
Bye.